It's a sport that requires no gym, no equipment, just you, your determination, and a little mud. But you get cut on barbed wire, have to pull cinder blocks up brutal hills. Oh, and if you miss one obstacle,
do not touch the ground or else you're doing burpees.
You get burpees.
But a burpee-free race is always my goal.
To some, it seems crazy, more like torture than fun. But millions participated in obstacle races in 2013.
It's fun, it's addicting. I gotta give it another try.
They push people to the limits in the ways that other sports don't necessarily do.
At the Spartan Military Sprint on Fort Carson, herds of 250 people set out to take on the course every 30 minutes over 6 hours, 2 days straight. So what drives people toward this danger?
Some of the obstacles are so intimidating. It makes you feel like a warrior if you can get to the top of the rope and if you can conquer your fears.
Some say it's the thrill of it. Others just want to prove they can.
I think that's part of the appeal, though. Really push yourself as far as you can and see what you can actually do. And at the end, even after all of that misery, like the feeling of accomplishment makes it all worth it.
It's a sheer test of will.
You can quit at any time. Like you could always go and like hang out at the beer tent, but the fact that you don't makes you feel good at the finish.
The obstacle course racing community is a close one, and what you'll see more often than mud, more often than ropes, and more often than the burpees are racers helping one another get through it.
The fact that you're doing it with your friends and family or strangers who are just kind of trying to get through it and cheering each other on helps you realize things about yourself that you never realized that you could accomplish.
You're just constantly inspired because so many people come here with different goals, and it just makes you realize that if they can do it, you can do it.
Leslie got started just to get in shape after having kids.
I had my daughter on one side and a sword on the other, and I thought maybe I should keep going with this.
But when you get addicted like Leslie did, things can get much more intense than this dinky little 4-miler with a few dozen obstacles.
Last year I was on the Spartan Pro team and I traveled across the country, and they had a race that was called the Ultra Beast. It was 30 miles and it took 10.5 hours.
The challenges continue to climb, with the toughest in the series called the Spartan Death Race. Their web address, youmaydie.com. Here's how it's described on the company's website. Only consider this adventure-style race if you've lived a full life to date. Death sounds cool until you're dead.
That really tests it. And we try to emulate what people in maybe older times had to go through to really survive or get what they needed out of life.
They say it's tough because it takes mental grit to keep pushing.
Just like in life, so much of the race is just about overcoming obstacles as they show up and not really having any preparation for them.
Race organizers are inspired just by seeing a change in the mindset of America.
People just need that these days, that so much of life is behind a computer or really convenient, that people still crave that challenge, that something that tells them that they're alive or that they can do something more.
Thanks to the ropes, sandbags, traverse walls, and support, that many more people are leaving with a sense of pride thanks to the muddy but meaningful finishes.